I'm so excited to be speaking about our Davis Peace Project winners. The Davis Peace Project is when students design grassroots projects anywhere in the world that promotes peace and address the root causes of conflict among different parties. They're given $10,000 in funding to make a positive impact on the world. iHouse coordinates the grant process every year for UC Berkeley, and this year we'll hear from our winners, Sarah Lebu and Maha Siddiqui. Woo! First up, we'll have Sarah Lebu speak about her project. Sarah is a graduate student pursuing a dual master's in public health and city planning. She is from Kenya, and this is her third year at iHouse. Sarah speaks 6 different languages, ranging from Swahili to Kenyan and Ugandan vernacular, as well as English. We also have Maha Siddiqui. Maha is a third-year molecular and cellular biology student and is from the U.S. A fun fact about Maha is she taught her dog Fluffy how to play hide and seek and to skateboard. So please welcome Sarah up to the stage. Thank you.
Hello. I would love to tell you a story. And this is a story about the neighborhood whose picture you can look at the slides. So I will call your attention to the slides up there. So this is a story about the second largest informal settlement in East Africa. It is called Mathare. Now, to paint a picture, Mathare is a community that has very tight and dense housing, and a typical size for a house, think of it as the size of your room here in iHouse. Now, those family units can house up to families of 8. So it is a community that's facing a lot of challenges, a community that's housing low-income families, and I'm going to talk about that. Now, Mathare community falls within Nairobi city. Nairobi is Kenya's capital. From that picture, you can see that Nairobi has potential, and it's also a city of means, if you will. Now, communities such as Mathare are cut off from the benefits of urban living that other people in informal parts of Nairobi enjoy. 60% of residents in that city live in informal settlements such as Mathare. Now, they do not have resources such as water, sanitation, health, even education. And yet, these communities only occupy 6% of the land in that city. Going back to our community, Mathare. This is a community that has a very great, crucial asset. They have an abundance of youth. But on the flip side, that means that there's a lot of competition for resources because these youth have to sustain their families and sustain themselves. So they engage themselves in a lot of illegal activities, such as brewing of illicit alcohol, just to earn a livelihood. There's a lot of crime in this community as well. The rate of incarceration is high. So I got together with local residents and we asked ourselves, what can we do to change this narrative? How can we make this community more safe and more peaceful? And we thought, what if we go out there and call residents into a space that is safe and friendly and get them into a festival that promotes peace? And what if we did this by partnering with a local organization? So we did that, and we dubbed ourselves Mathare Gigi Fest. And our slogan was called Ni Peace Too. Ni Peace Too is Swahili that's loosely translated to It's Only Peace Here. So we decided to leverage on existing community resources. This is a community space within Mathare. Our intention was to take the festival to the doorsteps of these people. We called people. People came, except for the first time, we only had children. And we thought, we do want to promote peace. We love children, but we need even more than children. So we thought, what could we do to attract even more people? We assembled teams of soccer, boys, men. We assembled women and even elderly people, persons with disabilities, to play soccer within that space that I've shown you. Now, the action drew more people. We got even beyond children. We got young adults, we got women, we got interest groups that would otherwise not have been reached if it were not for this event. We got children, street children who'd run away from home and were living in the streets to survive. We got people who were depending on substances, and they attended this event, so that was great. We used local drama to talk about peace and social cohesion in this community. We used more fun activities, dance, songs, poetry, and even spoken word to get people entertained and educated on peace. And we thought, now that we have their attention and we have them in this safe space, how do we have this community access services that's causing them to be unsafe and peaceful in the first place? We invited partners and the government to table at these events. So we managed to get over 6 partners tabling at these events, ranging all the way from government, municipal utilities for water, sanitation companies. We even got a recruitment agency to come. We got a medical camp for immunization for children, all tabling in this event. And we did this by the help of a local team that even had girls, which is exciting. So together, this was our impact. We were able to reach over 2,000 people during this summer, together to talk about peace. We involved local police stations, we involved government officials, and we were even invited to talk within 2 radio shows. We went around asking participants what their definition of peace was. This is Kaka. Kaka is a resident of Mathare, and he was our MC for one of the events, and he said, I always thought peace was a foreign concept until I was asked to MC this festival. Now I know that peace starts with me. We went further and asked a lady. Achieng said, how can we be safe when we get assaulted for using a toilet that's located very far from our homes? We have been ignored for too long. One issue that women face within this community is they do not have in-house toilets. So they had to walk all the way up to even 500 meters to access a toilet. And walking all that way exposed them to muggings and sexual assaults. So one of the organizations that we called to table there was a sanitation company that started having conversations with them about building in-home toilets. We talked to Achieng after these events, and she said, we are having conversations about in-home toilets. We are open to business, and I don't even believe it. Now, the summer is over, and I'm back here to Berkeley. And you might be wondering, what next for this community? I'm excited that we have a very strong team that's experienced in running these monthly peace festivals. And they have the goodwill of a local government, and they also have very strong contributions from partners. Just in September alone, in my absence, they were able to hold another event, and they're looking forward to doing more of these. So all this was made possible by the Davis Projects for Peace and International House. Thank you for listening.
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. So my name is Maha Siddiqui, and I'm a rising junior at UC Berkeley studying MCB. I am a pre-med student, and I aspire to be a cardiologist for my community. So I grew up in Tracy, which is in the Central Valley in San Joaquin County. And it's not as affluent as Bay Area communities. There's not enough resources in education. Only 52% of the community members have a high school degree. There's a gap in patient-provider trust. Many of the talented youth in my community They go off to prestigious universities, and then they go off to enrich other communities besides their own. They don't come back and stay true to their roots. And I felt that this was a major problem, and I want to address it, as I'm very passionate about Tracy, San Joaquin County, my community. So I really want to encourage others to come back and practice medicine in my underserved community. So growing up in San Joaquin County, there was various gaps. Some of the gaps include high rates of hypertension, which means high blood pressure, and heart disease. The population I decided to focus on was the South Asian population. I identify as Pakistani American, and through our diet, we consume lots of red meat, lots of starch, white rice, and there's lack of awareness in nutrition and exercise. So I really want to address these issues because through my research, my summer research, the people that we screened 1,200 people, and 67% of them were at risk for hypertension. So this is a huge concern. And additionally, I want to bridge the gap between high school students and higher education, and I want to instill a passion in them for them to come back and practice medicine in San Joaquin County. So I created a free summer medical program for them to put on their college applications when applying to schools like U.C. Berkeley, called the Medical and Health Aspiring Health Program. And this is a free merit-based summer program for low-income minority first-generation students. They get exposure to medicine, biological sciences, and patient-provider trust. I train them how to take blood pressure, how to deal with people of different cultures, how to communicate cross-culturally to promote peace. Additionally, with my high school student team of 24 students, we went around to all the San Joaquin mosques and gurdwaras that attract the South Asian population, and we were able to screen about 1,200 patients. And we were able to advise them on their health, how they can lower their hypertension, what they can do to prevent heart disease. We also had a charity event where I hosted a guest speaker from Stanford, and she gave a talk to the community about proper nutrition, diet, and exercise. So that was very helpful for them to gain a better understanding and serve as an activist for their own health care. And surprisingly, not many people know this, but your oral health is linked to your heart health. So many people were surprised that if you don't brush your teeth, you can get heart disease and a heart attack, and plaque can build up. So we spread awareness. We had community partners donate dental hygiene supplies to distribute to the community. So we screened about 1,200 people. This is a little bit about the programs. So I really want to pay it forward. Since I live about an hour away currently, I live in I-House, and San Joaquin County is about an hour of drive. I feel that I can really sustain this project, not just for the summer, but throughout the year. So I also create a year-round internship where I have a group of students, and we do events at local gurdwaras and mosques. And right now, we're really focusing in San Joaquin County, but we hope to advance. And I also teach fall, spring, and summer courses. I wrote a curriculum called Health Disparities in Marginalized Communities, Bridging the Gap Between Providers and People. This is a course that really prepares students to not understand the biological sciences of the pre-med world, but the healing components to promote peace. To be a doctor, it's not just about the science. You have to heal culturally. You have to see them as a human, so that goes in with that. And at our awareness generation events, we want to promote a healthy lifestyle. That doesn't mean you have to cut everything out of your life to be healthy. We noticed that the doctors in my community, they were very unfamiliar with the Pakistani South Asian population. So one time they told my family, oh, you should cut out red meat completely, but that's pretty difficult if you're not too familiar with the Pakistani diet. So we suggested, don't eat red meat every single day. You can eat it a couple times a week and slowly make that change for a healthier lifestyle. Instead of consuming white rice with every meal, try to switch to brown rice because they're more dense with fiber and nutrients. And any sugary drinks, replace it with water and exercise. For exercise, there isn't encouragement to exercise in the community, so we encouraged them to take a walk for 30 minutes after lunch and dinner to get their 1 hour of cardio. So for the next steps, I am currently in the process of creating this as a nonprofit organization. I would like to publish my summer research in the American Heart Association, and I have created a website about the work I'm doing, and if you're interested, feel free to click the link, and if you're interested, just let me know, and I'd love to collaborate. Thank you.